Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Is marriage in the West a dead end? What do I mean by that? Well, some people have lost hope. They keep seeing the same type of people. They're not interested in dawah, they're not interested in the Quran, they're not interested in family and gender roles. They just care about dunya, showing off, social media, just mixing, doing all kinds of things. And some people, they've had enough. They're like, you know what? It's just too much. Let me focus on doing my education, master's, PhD, brothers and sisters, delaying marriage, reaching 30, 35, and not married yet. So is it a dead end? Well, no. In this video, inshallah, I'm going to explain to you how it's not a dead end, that even in this environment of fitna, we can still find and have a good system of navigating through all the fluff and being able to choose a pious spouse. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Now, for those who don't know, I'm Gabriel Al Romaani. I have over 2 decades of experience when it comes to counseling, and specifically marriage counseling. So I've seen in my experience so much of this. And to be honest, I know that a lot of people lose hope, but I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't. You should not lose hope. Now, in a time of fitna, when there's so many different ideologies, feminism, red pill, people are confused, it's very important to have an actual system of how to vet. Imagine like having a flashlight in a dark night. It will help you to know where to walk and to reach your destination. Now, your destination as a brother and sister is to find a pious spouse. Why? Because you want to do it for the sake of Allah. Plus, you want to make sure that this person will help you to get to Jannah. But then again, you're in the West. You're in Texas, you're in New York, you're in London, you're in Sydney, and you're like, man, there's no good Muslims around. Well, there is still a lot of good Muslims around, alhamdulillah, even though with all the fitna. The question is, can you find them? Well, I'm here to tell you that I've developed this marriage vetting blueprint that has a system that will actually act as a torchlight for you in this darkness. You will be able to know how to pick amongst the people who are there, pious, not pious, but to actually sort them out and know who is good for you and who has that attachment to the deen that you are looking for, those values and those morals. So click in the description of this video to get my marriage vetting blueprint. Now, what can you find in this marriage vetting blueprint? Well, you find some red flags, which are very, very important. I'm just going to give you, just kind of scratch the tip of the ice here and just explain to you what you'll get in this blueprint. So red flags. Well, what's a red flag? Well, someone who's very materialistic, always thinking about money. They're already asking you about mahar from the first meeting. They're already asking about provision and what you're going to be able, what kind of apartment, what kind of car. It's like their focus is on that. Now, while these things are important, but if someone does it on the first time, they're so fixated on it, that is a red flag. Well, what about someone who is hiding their character? You've done your research, and now you want to hear it from them. You've talked about them to people in the community, which is not ghiba. But now they're trying to, just kind of be fussy, just hide around and not be honest. So that's a red flag. What's another red flag? Well, inconsistencies in their behavior, their morality, their anger, their respect towards the parents. All these are red flags. If you ask them about gender roles, if you ask them about social media, and they give you something that is not aligned with Islam, i.e. correct gender roles, i.e. having haya and taqwa, and not wanting to be on social media, they give you an answer, something like, well, I can just do whatever I want, like it's not a big deal, it's a free world, like you shouldn't be, manipulating me or controlling me, right? They start talking like that, then basically you know that these people are not right, and they have a huge, major red flag. So my brothers and sisters, there's just so much more there. How to talk to community leaders to understand who this family is. Going to the masjid or the community center or wherever they are to understand more. Doing research online, understanding who they are on social media, or what kind of tracks have they left in their past. It is important, and while a lot of people think that it's not allowed in Islam, it is allowed in Islam. The Prophet ﷺ told us when it comes to business, marriage, these are things where now backbiting is not really the same as you would do it to someone else who is not, engaged with you in that kind of behavior, that kind of transaction. So take your time, click that link in this video, and take advantage of the marriage vetting blueprint, which will help you and act as a torch to guide you bi'idhnillahi ta'ala to make the right choice of a spouse, ask the right questions, look for the right answers, have the right standards in a time where this is quite difficult. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.